Election Day is November 5th, and we're sitting down with Norwalk's candidates for Common Council and Board of Education, and we're asking them for their qualifications, their opinions, and their visions for Norwalk. Walk through for me what you think you've helped the board accomplish since you came on.
Well, one of the things that I did right away as soon as I got on, because of my IT background, I went and visited with the IT director and their department and went over just their operation. Looked at their server room, looked at how they did the break fixes, and just how they operated. One of the things that I quickly found out is their case file. The way they record their cases was not being handled properly. For 1 month, I believe they had 200 cases.
Oh.
Now, when you have 1,100 employees and 11,000 students, I think you're going to have a lot more than 200 cases. So I immediately asked them that they need to record everything, no matter what it is, because we need to find out what their caseload is. Do we need to hire more people? Do we need to cut people? Just to figure out how to better run the department. So that's the number one thing that I did. The next thing I did is I met with our athletics department. I created a position called the athletics liaison. I noticed that there's board liaisons for all these other different groups. But nothing for athletics. And my kids were all very sports-minded.
Sure.
I have 4 kids, and they've all played sports in Norwalk High School. I got 2 girls left that are still playing. And with a $1 million line item on our budget, I thought it would be appropriate to have a board member at least work with our athletics department and see what we can do. Mm-hmm. So I met with our athletics directors, and we put a plan together, some of the things that they needed, want to know what they needed, what they were looking to do. And we come up with some great ideas, and one of those was driver's education. We brought driver's education back, and in doing that, it fully funds, but it gives some of the funding goes to the athletics department, which helps them, clean uniforms. It costs us $5,000 to clean uniforms, one of the team's uniforms. So anything that we can do can help. But not only that, it also helps students. They don't have to drive across town or New Canaan to go to driver's ed. Parents don't have to be inconvenienced. They take the class right after school or right after their practices. Because we've worked with the driver's ed company, one of the things we put in the RFP is that they would be flexible with their classes to accommodate our athletes. And so that's been working out very well. Now it's been a year right now, and a lot of kids have been through it, and we made a little money. Not a lot, but we made a little money. Yeah. And so I think a lot of people benefit from that.
If you're elected in November, sort of run down for us what your vision for Norwalk is. Where do you think the priorities for the Board of Education need to be?
There's a couple things we need to do. I think hiring, Dr. Rivera, Manny, was a great pick for us. And I love his vision. I love what he is looking to do with Norwalk. Not only was he a Norwalk parent, which was a real plus for us because he really has his heart in the city, but also he's got a great background. He's been, New York State, and a couple other places, Superintendent of the Year. So we're going to really hook up with his vision and really raise the bar for our schools. And the other thing that we continue to concentrate on is, of course, is our financial management. That was a big problem over the many years, and we finally caught it with when Eli Longo was hired. And so those are the 2 things. The first 2 things. The other thing, of course, is school safety. When after the tragedy happened over at Newtown, the city was quick to put a committee together, safety committee, and I called up Mike Lyons, who was the chair at the time, and I said, I want to volunteer for this. Having 2 girls left in the school system, I want to be on the committee. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to concentrate on.
Where do you think you guys need to prioritize so that you can, do the things that need to be done, teacher salaries and things like that, but still continue to restore and move forward as well?
Yeah, it's a good question because I think it's going to be a challenge. The reason is we just finished the contract with the teachers union, and that's going to fluctuate next year. The average teacher is going to make 4.2% raise. Right. So that's really going to hit our budget for next year. Then the year after, it's open for renegotiation. We have no clue what it's going to look like. So I think it's going to be a big challenge. Rich Rudel is a great guy. He's done some great work so far. So I really can't comment past that because really he's working on the models right now. So we'll see what he brings, you know. But you know, our idea is to really be continue to bring it, hopefully have a surplus, but not be a burden to the taxpayer. But also fully fund our schools and pay our teachers fairly. Make sure that our kids have a great education.
What do you think the relationship between the Board of Education and the superintendent should be?
Well, with any, sometimes we don't look at it as a corporation, the structure, but it is. And you know, the board of any corporation is not a micromanager. And unfortunately, I think some of our members have tried to micromanage the superintendent in the past and micromanage the operations. We hire a CEO or superintendent for a reason, you know, because of their expertise and what they bring to the table. They're supposed to run the operation, and we're basically supposed to just make sure they're held accountable. You know, we have a constituency to answer to, you know, the voters, and I think that's the way it should be. But hopefully we'll get there one day. I don't think it is there now. You know, when I sat with Dr. Rivera, I told him, I'm not going to micromanage you. You're better at this than I am. I mean, that's you've got the doctorate. I don't. But I'm here to hold you accountable and help you in any way I can. You know, provide you with the tools and the budgeting that you need to educate our students and run a top-notch school district. So I think we're working at it, but I don't think we're there yet.